Hello and welcome to It's Your Turn. I'm your host Marco, and with me is our game master and other host, Bryn.
Woohoo! Hey!
Today we're tackling the iconography beast of Yokohama. This thing, I swear, looks like it's just a horror to play, but in all reality, it isn't.
Yeah.
And Bryn's gonna walk us through how. Then after the how to play, we're gonna do a little discussion on our Kickstarter's the future and our thoughts on it.
Oh no, actually, specifically, our Kickstarter exclusives.
That's right.
The future of Kickstarter.
We give our thoughts on that. And then we go through a nice little playthrough of Yokohama.
Yeah.
So I'm going to step away and give it over to Bryn.
All right.
Bryn, you want to teach us how to play?
I do. First, I hope you enjoyed the Kickstarter videos you saw. We'll show those again at some way to point through the show in case you missed them the first time. And if you want to go be able to check them out for yourself, we will have the links in the comments after the show is over. So, great. All right, let's talk about Yokohama.
All right.
So Yokohama, I'm going to start here. Yokohama is a point salad game. There's a zillion ways to get points, from fulfilling orders to building buildings to building text to building faith to export to doing import contract. There's a ton of ways to get points. I'm not going to cover them all right now, but let's cover basic gameplay. And to do that, we've got to start with your playmat. So let's start with the playmat. Okay. Every player has a playmat here. And this is familiar with the other games we've been playing recently, as far as you have a cost to take things off the playmat. Once the things are off the playmat, you're able to use them. At the beginning of the game, you actually start with these resources over here. You start with your president, that's your pawn, your president's assistants, and some shops that we'll be able to build. In this game, you'll be collecting resources like yen, fish, that's silk, tea, and copper, to be able to fulfill export contracts like these, where you pay the resources, gain the benefits on the bottom. Anything you see with a star represents victory points. So at the beginning of the game, we start with 2 export contracts. We're going to pick one between the 2, but let me get a little more into how we play. So let's go ahead and go to the main board. Okay, so we're playing a 2-player setup here, and as you see, there is a lot of iconography. Okay, it's actually much simpler than it appears, but I understand it being overwhelming at first. Essentially, what a player is going to do on their turn is they're going to place between 2 and 3 assistants on various tiles in the game. Each tile is a different space. Once they've placed their assistants, their pawn or president is allowed to move as long as there are assistants connecting the spaces. So for instance, if I have my president here, and I wanted to take the space over here for the copper mine, I would need to be able to create a connected path of assistants for my pawn to move along and be able to take the action space. Now, the trick is that once you're on the action space, what you can do there depends a lot on how much power is there. So let me see if I can point to one that's a little easier to do. Let's start with this one. These here are yen, they represent money. This represents what the board action, or what you can do here on this board at the bank, okay? So we've got, this one says 1 yen, 2 yen, 3, and accordingly. These numbers here represent power. So your power calculation in a space is your president plus your assistants plus any buildings you might have built. So for instance, if I were to have this building in this space, or just a building period, I would count the number of things that are mine. 1, 2, 3, 4. It means I've got 4 power and would gain 4 yen for going to this space, okay? That's generally how it works. So what you're trying to do is build up assistants in a place, get your president there, take the action that's there. Once you've taken the action, and you've gained any other benefits, which I'll go over with us in a second, your assistants that were there come back into your tableau and can be used again for future placements. So in other spaces as well. So in the game, when you're placing assistants, that's the first step of what you do in your main action phase. Main action phase, you can either place 2 assistants in one spot, or you can place 3 in different spaces. Your president's allowed to move anywhere that you have assistants that are at least adjacent to the other spots. Okay. Again, we talked about power when you get there. Okay, so let's go back to this space and talk about what this space does. This is the bank, and it's a way to get yen. Okay, pretty simple. You'll notice that every space has 2 things on it. They have a card up here that's randomized at the beginning of the game, and they have a 5 power thing that's also randomized at the beginning of the game. You'll see the back, it says 5 power, it goes right there. So the first player to get to this space with 5 power is able to not only take whatever actions here, in this case is 5 yen, but they also gain this token, which in this case is 3 more fish. That's a one-time benefit in the game that you get, and then once you have it, ultimately it can't be gotten by any other player. You'll also notice something else. On the 4 and 5 spots, they're red. And notice they're shaped like a house instead of a circle, okay? They're shaped like a house, much like these are, okay? These are little shops. If you take a 4 power or a 5 power action, you're allowed to build a shop here or a trading house. So if you already have a shop or a trading house bought off of your warehouse, because remember, you can't use anything from your warehouse unless you've already taken it off your warehouse. But take this, you can put this shop on any of these 4 spaces, and or you can put one of your trading posts on this space here. Notice there's 4 spots for shops and 1 spot for a trading post. Whenever you place a shop or a trading post, you immediately gain the benefits that are there. And I'll tell you the difference between them. In this space, you're going to see that right here, you can gain some victory points, a victory point for placing a shop there. The shop does a few things. One, it gives you the victory point, which is great, but also it's a permanent +1 power for whenever your president goes and takes actions there, or when one of your foreign agents does, which we haven't gotten to yet. I'll go ahead and replace this. A trading post also adds +1 power, but it has an extra effect, and notice there's only 1 space for it. Gives you extra victory points, it's worth an extra power on the space, but most importantly, if another player takes an action there, maybe pull on. Let's move this out of the way. Let's say another player comes, takes an action there. The owner of the trading house is going to gain 1 yen from the bank. So there's a few. So that's generally how these spaces work, and we'll go over what each tile does in a moment. I'm going to show you a few more placement rules, and I'll leave Marco's pawn to be able to do so. So if I want to place a assistant where Marco's pawn is, I can do that. However, I have to pay Marco 1 yen. Okay, so Marco would have to pay 1 yen for doing it. Also, if I were going to move my president through his space, I would pay him 1 yen for passing through him. So there's great bottlenecks you can create in the game as far as your placement of your president. One other rule: you can never take a spot where another player's president is. There's exceptions to that, but they have to do with cards that you can get later on called technologies. But in general, though, you are either going to pay a yen to put a assistant where opposing president is, and you pay a yen to that player when you want to pass them. Okay, so little nuanced rule as far as movement, but it's important in the game. Okay, so let's go over a little bit about what each of the spaces do. We've got the bank, that's where you collect yen. For resources, we've got the silk mill, where you get silk. Tea plantation, where you get tea. Copper mine, where you get copper. Fishing grounds, where you get fish. And this is now where it gets a little more complicated. Okay, so let's look at these various spots here. The primary thing in the game that you're going to be doing are from the port. They're called orders, okay? And if you remember, when we had this, that's an order. You'll see on the back it says order. So what this allows you to do is when you go here and you have enough power, the more power you have, the better order you can pick up. Okay, and we're going to get to the order board in just a moment. Just understand there's a separate side expansion board just dealing with just this piece here. Similarly, when we go to the church, we're going to spend power to gain faith. Then we can use more resources, a diversity of resources. So if you use one of each type of resource, you can continue to raise your faith. The more faith you have, the better action you can take on the other expansion board. So let me just explain. So this board, the customs board, and the laboratory all have boards outside of here that I'll go over at the very end, okay, of the explanation. Let's go to the employment agency. Very important spot here. Anytime you see this symbol, it means you can take something out of your warehouse. Basically, you buy something out of your warehouse. The more power you have here, the more items you can take out of your warehouse. So if we cut back to the warehouse for a moment, if I just took the employment agency action and it allowed me to take 3 things, I can take three assistants for free. I could take maybe 2 assistants and 1 shop. That would cost me 2 though, and that's not available for me to use. I could even take, if I had enough money for it, I could take 3 of these trading houses as well. So the point is that once they're off your once they're out of your warehouse, you can start using them in play. But as long as they're in your warehouse, you cannot use them at all. Okay, so let's go back to the main board for one more second. Okay, great. So I'm going to hit each of these other boards in order. So let's go ahead and jump over finally to the expansion boards, which are over here on the side of the board, side of our table here. Okay, so as you see, we have laboratory management board, port management board, customs management board, and church. Okay, so each of these correspond to a board that's on the main page. That's over here. If you want to show both real quick, so I can point to them as we go. Great. Okay, so let's start with the port management board. So we showed port management board here. That corresponds to this board. Okay. The more power you get, the further up the board you can go. So if you want to get one of these red orders, right, you've got to have at least 4 or 5 power on the port board to take it. Once you take one, it goes into your hand. This slides down, a new one comes out. In fact, let me move these over here so that they're in the right spot for moving them around, okay? So once you take them, it's in your hand. Now the thing is once it's in your hand, you cannot get rid of it for any reason until you complete its requirements. So you'll notice on the bottom, each one gives you a different bonus based on completing it. Each one has a different cost. There's also country flags involving where the order is going to, and I'll get to those at the very end because they have to do with in-game scoring. But essentially, if you want a higher up order, you got to have more power. But if you just want to be able to take the action at all in the port management board, you can get at least one of these 2 low-level ones here. And these will slide down throughout the game as we go. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Let's go to the laboratory management board. And that is actually over here on the main board, and it corresponds here. So on the main board, the more power you have determines the more industry you create. These gears are industry. So in order to pick up this card, it requires at least 3 industry or 3 power. But you might look and you might see there's one up here that's a 5, plus 2 extra for how far it away is on the board. That requires 7 industry. 7 industry wouldn't be possible with a maximum of 5 power that you can get from your president or 4 assistants or shops. And that should be a rule that I should have covered already. You can never generate more than 5 power on a single space. But fortunately, the laboratory board gives us a way to generate more industry even if we don't have more power. And to do that, I'm going to go back over to the laboratory board. If we wanted to get to 7, I want you to notice here that it says here on the laboratory board that if we use 2 money, 2 yen, or 1 import good, which I'll get to how we get those in a moment, you can raise your industry by 1. So if I wanted to get to 7, I'd probably want to have, up to the 5 somehow. So that would give me 5 power. Then I would spend additional yen or import goods to raise it to 7. And that's how I get those higher level technologies. Now to go back over to the technology board. Again, if I were to buy this, this would slide down and a new one would come out. So they continue to slide down throughout the game. Okay. Notice that some of them have the same name. The other rule is you can never have more than one of the same name in your tableau, or take more than one of the same. Similar with the orders, you can never have more than 3 orders in hand. So never have 2 of the same text, never have more than 3 orders in hand. You have to be able to use them. So this brings us to finally some of our more important boards for scoring: the customs management board and the church management board. Let's start with customs management since it deals with fulfilling orders usually. So you'll see on the main board here we've got customs management. The more power you have on the customs management board, on the customs board, the more imports you can turn in. If you go back over the management board, the more imports you can turn in, the higher your score can go. Let me show you how this works. So let's say I have 3 imports that I've collected throughout the course of the game. And where do imports come from? Well, you'll see on the ports that there's lots of little orders that will give you imports, okay? Orders that will give you imports on the port management board. So as I complete these, I'm going to earn these. Now, if I have 3 import goods in my possession, I can take one of these 2 actions as long as I have at least 4 or 5 power, which you'll see over here on the customs board. The difference, but you have to have at least 4 power here to be able to use 3 import goods. So what I do is I'd use 3 import goods. They would go away. I'd be cashing them in. I would take an assistant from my tableau, not from my warehouse. Remember, you can never use something directly from your warehouse, but I can take something from an area, from an assistant that I already have available, and I would cover that space, or that space, my choice. I imagine here would be better at 16 points compared to 15 points. But once I take it, that spot has been taken. It can no longer be taken throughout the rest of the game. Okay, so it's a bunch of points. Down here, there's an opportunity to take more things out of your warehouse for fewer points. There's a spot here for yen. But in general, you can earn a whole lot of points by turning in import goods. Okay, so let's bring you to the final point board, which is the church management board. So we talked about this a moment ago, and similarly, when I'm able to complete these by using faith, I also cover them up, and once they're covered, they can't be used again by another player. So in general, I can use 5 power to generate 5 faith. You'll notice that 5 faith only takes me so far on this. To generate more faith, and how we generate more faith beyond our power, let's go over and look back at the church board. So back here on the church board, we'll see that it says non-equal resources each increase faith by 1. So you notice there's 4 different types of resource types: an import good and 2 money. So there's 6 different unequal resources to raise faith. So if I have 5 power here, use 1 of each resource type, and 2 yen is what it says, I would get 6 more faith plus the 5 power I've put there. Let's say I had this situation going on. And that would get me 11 faith. You might notice over on the board, 11 faith is the highest it goes to, because that's the most you can possibly generate. Once that's taken, it's the only spot that's in the board that you can do that. When you do this, you get a special type of action. You'll see this in other places in the game, but this is the last piece of iconography to show you. If you ever see a little person going back onto the board, that means that you get to take someone from your available workers and place them on the board. So for instance, this here says 3 worker placements. So I can take 3 workers from my tableau area I've already not from my warehouse. Just want to be clear, not from the warehouse, but 3 workers that are available to me, and put them on any boards I want to. I can drop all 3 on the same board. I can put them on different boards. It's my choice, but that's what allows me to put workers down. So you'll see there's 2 different types of symbols that we want to be concerned with. There's these symbols where you can put workers on the board, and there's these symbols where you can take things out of your warehouse and make them available for play. Okay, and that brings us to end game scoring conditions. So first of all, if we ever run out of orders and aren't able to fulfill the order board, the game will trigger and we'll play 1 additional round after the current round is over. If the customs management board in a 2-player game ever has 5 slots full, including the one we set at the beginning because we're playing 2 players, the game trigger will end. Same thing for the church. If we ever have 5 spots full on this, the game trigger will end as well. There's a couple of the triggers, for instance, playing all of your shops or playing all of your trading posts will also end the game, although these are the more common triggers to end the game, these here. So let's get to end game scoring then, and I'm going to go back to your play mat to show you that. Okay, on end game scoring, conveniently, it's all listed right down here on the bottom. So the person with the most faith will score points. The person with the most imports on the import board will score points. The person with the most industry used in their tech will score points. And then here's these symbols for the different countries. For every set of symbols you have, there's 5 different country symbols. You're going to gain 12 points. If you have a set of 4 of them, you'll gain 8 points. So each individual set will score independently. So how do you get these symbols? Well, you'll notice that they're right here on your orders. When you fulfill them, you'll gain the symbol. Also on tech cards like this one, they also have a symbol there as well that counts towards the end game scoring. There's one other thing these symbols do. If you ever get 2 of the same symbol, you earn a foreign agent. Foreign agents, I'll bring this over to the board so you can see it, for instance, is that. Notice how it matches the country. There's a different agent for each country. There are a limited number of agents. For instance, there's only 1 from the Netherlands, which is this one. But if I ever get 2 cards with the same symbol played in my tableau, I gain a foreign agent. A foreign agent allows me to take kind of like an additional action on a space where my president is not. So I'd flip the agent to show that I'm using it, and then in a place where I have assistants out here on the main board, I'd be able to take that action on that space. To show an example of that, let's do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some people in some places. Let's do these here again. This is our favorite place to be. So let's say I have 3 assistants here in the bank, and I have a foreign agent I want to use. So on my turn, I can flip a foreign agent to take a bank action. When I do so, the foreign agent doesn't count as towards the power, but my available buildings do. My available assistants and buildings do. So I'd have 4 power, which means I would get 4 coins, 4 yen, and I'd be able to build a building here if I haven't built one already. That's important to mention. I can only have 1 shop and 1 trading post per building. Just to be clear, that's a rule. But that's what the foreign agent allows me to do, and I can use a foreign agent once per turn, no matter how many I have. Okay. So one final thing to show you as far as scoring, and it's back over here on the scoring board. At the beginning of the game, we randomly drew, let me go ahead and put this back. At the beginning of the game, we randomly drew 3 different scoring conditions. These are goals in the game. So the first player to have 5 copper can take one of their assistants from their available pool and claim the 8-point bonus. And they'll immediately move their token up 8 points. You score immediately in this game as you score things until the end game scoring. If Marco were to come by later on and to use and also score the same thing, he could put one there. Now each player can only score each thing 1 time. He would score 6 points for this, I would score 8, and it's immediate, it happens immediately. Another bonus we get in this game is any player who has 5 power bonuses and or foreign agents collected will also gain 9 points. Any player who's built 3 buildings on industry buildings and 2 buildings on the economy buildings will also score 10 points. So these are additional scoring mechanisms. So as you can see, there's a ton of different ways to score in this game. So it's important that as we go through and show it, it's important to understand when you can do actions, because timing in this game is pretty important. And while I didn't go over all the intricacies and nuance of timing, when we play our first turn, I will literally walk you through all of the steps involved in timing your plays. so that you understand that there is some important decisions to make as far as when and how you build, and a lot of it has to do with just what you've taken off your warehouse at the moment. So when we come back, I'm looking really forward to jumping into Yokohama with you. It is one of my favorites. Early this year, two prominent games announced that they would go Kickstarter exclusive. In other words, they wouldn't sell to retail backers nor go into distribution channels. Those two games were Batman by Monolith and Hate by Cool Mini or Not. Now the question is this the wave of the future? Are more games going to go Kickstarter exclusive and primarily rely on backers for all of their income? And is that good for them? Is that good for us? What do you think about that, Marco?
I really hope it isn't. The reason for it is the fact that they're using FOMO, or fear of missing out, as a lead marketing versus the game. You know, you do have fear of missing out when it comes to counters, showing how many backers there are already, but and that's secondary to the game. But
like
when
early
you have,
birds.
Right, like early
yeah.
birds.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have things such as, you know, Kickstarter exclusive, and now the game is now secondary to the actual marketing campaign. And that really, I think, hurts us, you know, because we're like, oh my god, we have to back this, and then we may not get the game.
So it's not about the game anymore. It ends up being about missing out on the game more than it is whatever the game actually is.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the biggest thing, and I think example for you, for everybody here is, think about the McRib.
The McRib.
Right. I remember McDonald's McRib commercials, and it happens every few years, and they say, hey, you know, it's a limited time only. Don't miss out on the McRib. Everybody loves the McRib, you know. And then they only do it for about a month or 2 months, or they'll extend it and like, oh, you know, because it's doing so well, and then they'll stop it.
Yeah, they'll stop it.
And there it is in its prime, fear of missing out. You know, and I think that's a horrible way to market.
So you're saying you may not even really want a McRib, but because this is the only time you get it, you figure out a reason why you gotta have one right now.
Or why you want to try one,
yeah.
You know, or anything like that. The other issue is, I think that with Kickstarter exclusives, it bloats the secondary market, which makes it more expensive for us as backers or consumers to buy games, which I don't think is fair.
So for me, as far as, is it the future? I don't think it really is, and I don't think if it was a good thing for backers, but I understand why it exists. So let me explain a few concepts, and I'll start with what Monolith had to say specifically about why they went Kickstarter exclusive with this campaign. Monolith writes, why Kickstarter exclusive? They write, for a very simple reason. The game contains a lot of work and high quality components on top of the cost of the Batman license. To be able to offer you this game at a reasonable price, we had to cut our margins as low as possible. We cut them so much, in fact, that we cannot reduce them any further. Therefore, if we were to sell this game to a distributor, who would then sell it to retailers, the final price of the base game for you gamers would be multiplied by 2.5 times. That would be more than $350 for the base game only. And I understand why Monolith would say this. So normally when a publisher makes a game, they have to set the MSRP at about 4 to 5 times the price of what they manufactured it for, in order so that they can make a margin on it. So what Monolith is basically saying is that game would cost $350 were it priced appropriately based on traditional retail methods. Which means in order to make such an amazing game and offer it at a price that is frankly affordable to the consumer, they had to skip the other pieces of the other middlemen, basically, in order to offer at a reasonable price and still get their margin they would normally give to distributors. On that level, I understand the Kickstarter exclusivity, but I don't think this is a general trend. I think Hate's the reason why. Hate, for the last Cool Mini or Not campaigns, if you look at the last 2 years, of campaigns that were 20 days or longer for them, Hate performed by far the worst. Now you might say it's because of that crazy video they have, or maybe the content wasn't what people wanted, but really, I do think the Kickstarter exclusive nature of it actually didn't help them very much. And I think that a lot fewer campaigns are going to be willing to risk doing that in the future.
So, with what Bryn said, I will say this, that I am a huge fan of Kickstarter exclusive content. Because it tells us backers or consumers that, hey, here's something a little special for taking the initiative and step and risk for backing our game. And here's a little bonus to you. I'm just hope that they don't keep on moving forward with doing Kickstarters of games, because not only does it hurt us backers, it hurts other indie publishers, it also hurts the retail store, which will then, limit the chances that we will get games. Alright, and we're back with Yokohama. We're ready to play.
It's Yokohama.
Whatever. This is Yoko I never winna.
You know what? You've been on a streak recently. I think we're 2-2 each.
We
right?
are. So who wants to put bets down for this week's win? I'm going for myself.
This is one of my favorite games, so I'll throw the game though.
All right, so
okay,
let's go back in.
So here we are. We're back at Yokohama. So I'm going to go first, and I'm going to walk you through my first turn in detail. Okay. So to start with that, I'm going to look at these goals that are out here right now. Remember before I mentioned that there's a goal to get 5 copper, a goal to get foreign agents and a 5 bonus, and a goal to get to build buildings involving industry, mostly industry and some economy. So if I go look on the board, I'm going to look for a starting space where I can do all of those things. In a way, I'm giving away what I intend to do, but you know what? That's the purpose of this, to show you the game. Now you'll notice here that 5 copper is one of the most difficult resources to get. Like when you look at fish, you can easily get 5 fish, but copper only comes in 3s. But look at what the 5 bonus is. It's another 2 copper. Notice that's total. If I got both of these, I would get 5 copper, which would be exactly enough to complete the first goal. Additionally, I can build a building there. If I build a building here as well, it accomplishes one of my 3 buildings towards the other goal, towards building industry. So I'm going to be focusing primarily going here. Oh, one more thing it does. By collecting this, it goes towards the 5 of these I need to collect to accomplish the other goal. So that's like the perfect spot to start going. So at the beginning of the game, you start with 8. I'm going to put these here. You start with 8 individual guys. Now I pulled my board over to the side. I'm just going to be showing you this one here so we can go over the rules. But in general, I start with 1 guy and 8 assistants. So at the beginning of the game, I'm going to place either between 2 or 3 people. I can place 2 on one space or 3 on different spaces. So let's go through the actions in order. The first part of the phase says A, additional action phase, first half. What this means, there's additional actions you can take in the game. You can, as an additional action, fulfill a goal. Remember when we put the assistant onto the goal that we completed? You can fulfill an order, or you can use one of your foreign agents. Okay, I don't have any foreign agents. I can't accomplish any goals, so we'll skip directly to the main action phase. After the main action phase, notice there's another additional action phase below that, part C, which is the same as the first action phase. So essentially you can fulfill orders or complete goals or use your foreign agents before or after your main phase. Before and after your main phase, actually. So let's go ahead and start with the main action phase. It says the first thing you do is number 1, placement. Placement is basically putting down your people. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's go to the board and I'm going to show you placement.
By the way, Sean, I resent that. 100 on Bryn? Really? 100? Wow.
All right.
Okay.
I am going to be giving away my strategies we play, so who knows, right? All right, so clearly I'm going to place 1 there because that's where I want to be building up people so I can build up power, right? But now I need something easy to get, and money is never a problem, and I have to be able to make a connection eventually, so some fish isn't bad too. So now I have to place my pawn. Now once my president's on the board somewhere, and he's actually going to start right there, so I can start with 2 yen. But once my president's on the board somewhere, he starts moving around from that space. If I ever can't make a move with him legally because I don't have the money to pay to pass somebody, or I just want to take him off, I can actually take an action as movement phase to pick him up back into my hand and pick up any number of assistants as well. It's kind of like a board reset. It lets you restart somewhere else, but you do lose a turn basically doing that. So, so we're going to start my game right here. Now we're in the placement step, and we're there. Now we go to the movement step. If I can go back to the small board here. Now this is normally where I would move my president. Well, by virtue of putting him on the board, I moved him. But in future rounds, this is when he would move around. Okay, so now we're going to take the area action, and to do that, let's go back to the board. The area action in this space is anything printed down here. Same thing for all the other boards. It's the area anything printed down here. So the area action is I have 2 power, so I collect 2 yen. So I'm going to grab 2 yen and add them to my personal supply. The next step, and we'll go back to the reference board again, and we'll only do this once, is I take any 5 powers that I have available. Well, since I didn't do a 5 power action, I can't take this 3 fish, so I skip that step. But normally that's when it would happen. Then now I do the construction step. That's where we get to build a shop or a trade house that I have available. Well, again, I have to have at least 4 or 5 power to take that action, so I skip that action as well. And then finally, the last step is recovery. Recovery is where you take all of your assistants that are on the space where your president just took the area action and take them back into your hand. So back on the board, I'm going to take the only assistant that's there. He goes back into my hand, available for me to use. And that concludes my turn because I don't have any other additional actions to complete. And it's now it's Marco's turn.
Alright, so, we already know Bryn is going for the brick over here, or copper as it is.
It looks like brick.
It looks like a brick, but they are calling it copper. So we know Bryn's going to the copper here, and he's going to front load this as much as possible.
You can get in my way.
I could get in his way, but I also have this order here just to show you of the things that I need. So I'm going to try to fulfill my order. You start off with 1 of every good. Yay!
Okay.
Goods! And so, as we saw in the order, I need a lot of one thing. So I'm going to go there. And let's see. I'm going to place here.
Okay, some fish.
Yep.
And you'll notice that he placed a assistant where I have an assistant. That's totally fine. He doesn't have to pay me a thing for that. It's only if he places where my president is.
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put... Yeah, no.
So what he can do right now is he can put 2 on the same
here.
Space, and if he does, of course that's where his president's going because he wouldn't get to take an action.
So I'm going to go there.
Starting with fish.
And get 2 fish.
Oh boy.
So give me 2 fishy.
2 fish for you, okay. 2 fish.
And I'm sorry for everyone. As you can see, I have my whole mane out. There's no hat to cover it. I'm sorry that there's uncontrolledness.
Take your recovery step.
That's looking at you really closely.
Okay,
All right, Bryn, it's your turn.
It's back to me. So I've got 6 people left. I'm actually going to put out 3. At least one of them is going to go here because that's where I really want them to go. Now, as much as I want to build up my fish, he's there, and if I put an assistant there, it would cost me a yen. I just got some yen, but I really don't want to do that. So I know I'm eventually going to need some more things off my board, and I wouldn't mind having another order as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go and start here on the port and collect one of the orders. So if we go and look over here at the orders, now I only have 2 power there, which means I can only take one of the low orders, one of these 2 here. So what I'm looking at is right now I have France. Okay, I want to set by the end of the game, and I know I'm going to be getting quite a bit of fish. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and grab America. But I'm gonna take that back for a second. Every game you actually start with the same number of resources. You start with 1 of each, and that's Netherlands, which is one of the more rare countries. So I'm actually gonna opt for this one instead. So this goes into my hand along with this one. I have these 2 together. Now that it's the end of my step, if I wanted to, I could actually play this card since I have the resources required. However, that would lose me 1 of my copper. And there's no real pressure right now to go ahead and build this immediately. I can build it anytime I want to on a future round. So I'm gonna store this for now. And my recovery step takes this guy back, and that is the end of my turn.
All right. So with that going, and there is something I want that is nice over in this area, but I'm not going to tell Bryn what it is because that would just be dumb.
I'll use it against him. I'm just kidding.
You would.
Maybe
you
I
definitely would. All right.
We do this for them, okay? You gotta. Okay.
I gotta see what's out there.
Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't move the orders over. So as soon as I took my order, so the new one that comes out is going to be a Germany. It's 2 silk, 2 tea, and 1 copper for 6 points and 2 yen.
All right. So I'm going to do something foolish.
You?
Yeah, me? What? I'm going to go here for 3.
Oh, look at that. So he's got 3 people here on the laboratory, which means he generates 3 industry right now. Now there are a couple cards up here that are 3, and there's actually 2 up here that are 3 industry exactly. These here are 4s. Can they see what I'm looking at? Good. So this first one's a postal system. They each have a special effect, and I didn't go over them specifically, but I'll go over them now. This one here says that during the movement step, that's when you're moving your president or your pawn, you may place your president in an area occupied by another president. Remember, that's a rule you can't do. This allows you to do it. So you can actually take the same action space I am, which could be really useful in a 2-player game. The second one over here, called the language school, says whenever he fulfills an order, he gains an additional yen. Pretty cool. So which one of those 2 would you like? Or would you like to power it up by spending more resources and possibly get something
No,
bigger.
I'm going to go and get the language school.
All right, so he's going to collect yen every time it fulfills an order. That's his.
All right.
And these are going to slide down now.
And a new card's going to come out.
Okay. New card came out as another language school, actually. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
So there we go. 2 language schools.
So back to the board, and Bryn, after I clean up.
Yep. Recovery step. All right. So here's the big play I've been looking forward to doing. I can drop 2 on the same space to be able to do it. So I'm going to move my president over here for a total of 5 power. Now, so we'll go over these in order. The first thing that happens is I do the area action, which is 3 copper. So I'll go ahead and grab 3 copper. 1, 2, 3. Out of my tableau. Then we do the 5 power action, which is this one. So I'll take this off. I collect this. I just turn it over and put it in my area. And I collect 2 more copper for that. Now I'm allowed to build something, and I will build something. Based on what's out there, I can have a point, or I can have some more resources. Well, you know, I'm probably going to have plenty of copper this game, but 2 silk is actually kind of hard to get as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put a building there to collect 2 silk. So that's going to give me 2 silk into my tableau. And then finally, the last thing I'll do is recovery. So I'll take these guys back into my hand. Now, if I want to, and I do, as a part of my additional action phase, I can accomplish a goal, which I will. I'll go ahead and place my first assistant right here, collect 8 points, and I'll move my scoring tracker up 8 points, and that is the end of my turn.
All right, so back onto the board. Yes, I'm not producing any more milk this game, Sean. Milk production, I'm done with. And now I'm just turning milky stuff into silk.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to place 2. And I am going over here to tea.
Oh, look at that. He's throwing up his own tea party.
I am.
So he's got 5 power. So he's getting, first of all, he's getting 5 tea.
Yep.
So there's, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's a whole lot of tea.
All right, okay. Then 1 good.
Then the fire, now this is, he can do the 5 action, which is actually where he gets an import good.
Right.
Now he keeps that token as the 5 action. He actually gets an import good as well.
And now what I'm going to build on.
Construct, yeah.
Let's see what's out there. All right. You know, yes, silk is hard to come by, but I'm going to take...
You know, you need the copper towards the goal, but it's no longer a race. I've already won the race, so it's just a matter of getting it before the end of the game.
I'm going to do silk as well. I'm silky smooth.
How many silk do you need?
That is 2.
2 silk? Okay, 2 silk for building that building.
All right, and I'm going to finish my turn. Remember that...
Oh, wait, first he's going to take his recovery step first. Yeah, recovery. Okay.
So and remember that thing I showed you, that order? I'm going to complete that.
Okay.
So what that gives me, after giving Bryn 3 fish, 2 tea, and 1 brick, copper.
Oh, that's a lot of resources. Okay.
I get 8 points.
8 points.
And another import.
And an import good. So.
And 1 money, as well.
And 1 money. Oh, the 1 money is for the technology. And you're gonna. And how many points do you go up? 8.
Yep.
So you're tied with me on points now, and you're going to gain 1 more import good. So he's already got 2 import goods. What a great start.
Yep.
Okay, great. So now I've got to think about how I'm going to build up my orders now. So I've got the ability to do multiple orders this turn because of what I've got, but I really need tea. The problem is he's all up in the tea right now.
I am all up in that tea.
That's going to be challenging to get. So I'm going to go ahead and place my 3 workers again. I really need to continue to build up the opportunity to take more spaces. I'll go ahead and build up on fish, and I'll build up on orders. Now, there's an order that I kind of want that's out there right now that I passed it the first time, but might be really good for me now. So I'll go back here, and I want to show you something else about the port board, if you guys can see it. The port board specifically, I can take 1, what this means is I can take 1 order from the port. However, if I spend 2 coins and or 1 import good, I can take 2 orders from the port of the same level or lower. Well, I don't really want to take 2 right now. I actually just want to take this guy, because he has a lot of futility and he's pretty cheap as far as fish. So I'll go ahead and take that to add to my orders. Now, I now have 3 order cards in hand, which means I can't take any more. So let's go ahead and slide this down to put a new order out there. And that's a nice and easy one. Well, only 1 point though. Recovery step, this comes back, and now I have to decide if I want to fulfill any orders, and I believe I do. I do not want to fulfill an order right now because I've got an order of operations I want to do.
That's right.
All right, great.
So
let me do the side cameras. Cool. So yeah, so yep, back to
going back this, and you know what? Money's good. I like money. So there's going to be 4, so I'm going to be able to build.
Wow. So
and I'm going 4 yen.
So these are 3 yen pieces, and there's a 1 yen piece. By the way, the Kickstarter version of this game had all wooden tokens. It was beautiful. I wish I had gotten it.
Yes.
Okay.
I wish you had have gotten it too. All right. So now I'm gonna build another building.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do this.
Okay. Now building there allows him to take 2 things off his warehouse. He still has to pay for them if they have a cost. But he can take 2 things off. And remember, assistants are free. Shops cost 2 each. And then trading posts cost between 4, 5, 6, or 7 based on how many you have out.
And what's the value of this again?
And that's 3.
3. And
Yep.
here's 4.
Okay. Oh, getting at least 1 trading post. What else are you getting?
I'm getting. Actually, no, you're right. 1 trading post.
And 1
regular
shop.
Yep.
1 trading post and 1 shop cost him 6. He's got a lot of buildings out there. Okay.
All right.
Very
and
good.
now clean up.
Definitely got a lot of money.
Clean up on aisle money.
Do you have any orders you want to fulfill?
No, I don't
No?
have any more orders.
Okay, great. So it's my turn. I've still got another action I can take. So let's go ahead and make this a really big action. I'm going to take my 2 workers, throw them right here, which will give me 5 power here on the employment agency. And that's a big deal because, first of all, I get to take 4 things off my board. I've only got 5 coins, so I can't take a whole lot. But I definitely want to take at least this this trading post here, which costs me 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can take off 3 other things, which will be 3, because I have no more money, 3 more, 3 more workers. So now that I've done that, I can now take the level 5 action, which is to take an import good. So I'll collect this, gain an import for use later, and finally now I can build. And I definitely want to build, but I want to build trading post. Why? Because everyone needs this space in the game. It's the most important space for getting out people, right? So this means anytime someone takes an action there, I'll gain, I gain 8 points immediately, but I'll also gain a yen from the bank. It's important to note it doesn't come from the player, it comes from the bank.
Right.
So last thing we'll do is we'll put these up and pull these off, and I will go ahead and add 8 more points to my score, bringing me to 16. And do I want to complete one of these orders I have? Not quite yet. Fish aren't quite where I need them to be.
All right. So, Brent, I have to ask this. If I were to pick up an order this turn, can I still complete the order the same turn?
Absolutely, because you pick up the order during the main action, but you have an additional action phase after your main action phase where you can complete as many orders as you wish.
You heard it straight from his mouth.
That's right.
I can do it. So
All
here
right.
we go.
Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Going to the port.
Going to the port.
Okay, which one of these do you
Which
like?
one do you think? Well, I have a lot of tea.
All right,
Give
so
me
here
the
we
tea.
go. So he's gonna take this one right here.
All right, and we take a look.
Yep.
Oh, look at that
And
tea.
three tea and two silk, and he's got plenty of resources to do that.
Yep.
That's gonna score him 4 points and 2 yen, which I'll go ahead and trade you. Here's 2 yen.
Here's all of the imports.
And move you up 4 points for blue. That brings you up to 12 points. Great. Okay, that's pretty good.
All right.
All right. So because you took the import, we're going to go ahead and move all the rest of these down. Look
Now,
how
I
soon
do also
this
need to
game-
say this, Bryn. I have 2 Americas completed.
Oh boy, so as soon as he completed 2 Americas, he's going to collect one of the few, and there's only 2 in the game, for America, 2 foreign agents. These foreign agents here, on this side, mean that are worth 1 point at the end of the game if he doesn't use them, but if he does, he can take an extra action. In fact, as soon as you earn that, you can use that right now if you want to, if you had something you wanted
No,
to do.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I'm cleaning
It
up.
wouldn't be that great, right? It wouldn't be a great
Right.
of an action. Okay. So I'm in desperate need of money right now. I'm only down to 1 yen. So let's go ahead and start building up money as well. I'm obviously going to need some fish because I'm still working on the fish, and tea is still important for me. So I can easily go and get 4 fish at the moment, which wouldn't be terrible, but I really want that trade good. So let's go ahead and move here. Instead, use these 2 to get 2 yen instead. So I'll take 2 yen, take my guy back, and that's it for my yen. I'm not going to fulfill any orders. I'm still holding on for a big play.
All right, and I know what that big play is, and just to mess with him, boom,
Oh no!
go in here, constructing. So I'll get
First
4
of all,
fish,
4 fish first.
and there is no 4 action, but I
Okay.
can build.
Okay.
Here comes my trading post.
Oh no! Trading post there means that when I go there, he'll collect a yen when I
That's
go
right.
there. But it's good.
So it's 9 points.
It is 9 points for you. So we're at 12, and you are now at 21.
All right,
Fantastic. Okay.
and that's my turn.
So I don't have the technology to let me take the space he's on, but you know what? I do really need tea. In fact, I need a lot of tea. So let's go ahead and place 2 here. I'm going to move to this space. That gives me a power of 4, which gives me 4 tea. 1, 2, 3, 4. Giving me now a total of 5 tea. Now I can build if I want to, and I think I do, because I need a bunch of these buildings in order to complete the game. So I'm going to go ahead and place, let's see here. You know, 2 more copper means I don't have to really go back to copper the rest of the game. So I'll go ahead and place that there for 2 copper. And finally I'll clean up. So now that I've done my main action phase, it's time to do my additional action phase. And now is when I'm going to start playing some orders. So let's start with this guy right here. I'm going to show it to him. Okay. Now it takes 3, I got 3 there, whoops, that's actually 4. Okay, 3T. And here's 2 copper. That's going to score me 9 points and give me an import good. So I'll collect this import good. Okay. And I'll go ahead and get 9 points, which moves me to 25 points. These will go away. Now I'm going to actually complete some more orders as well. So I'll take this one as a completed order, and let's go ahead and complete this order now as well. So it's going to take 1, 1, 1, and 1 to be able to complete that. So that's a total there of 1 of each. So that's going to score 8 points, no additional bonuses, but it is 8 points. So I'll move from 25 up to 33, and I'll go ahead and expend these resources. I can't do my next one yet because I need fish, as Marco was able to tell, so I will wait. But right now, if I want to show you what I've got, and this is how I usually store my orders, I'm starting to work on my first set of countries. I've got a France and a Netherlands. If I can get each of the other 3 types, and as you can see, I'm holding in America, I just need a Germany and a Britain to complete 1 full set. That's 12 points at the end of the game. All right, and it's your turn, Marco.
Now, I have to ask, wait, can't you only ever complete 1 order a turn?
So there was the rule book is a bit unclear in this because the way it reads on the back of the rule book where it has the reference aid, it does seem to indicate that you can only do 1 of those types of actions per turn, whether it be completing an order or claiming a goal. But upon further reading of the rules and clarification on Board Game Geek, it turns out that's not actually how it works at all. In the rules itself, it actually says you can take as many as you want before or after your action. The only restriction is you can only use 1 foreign agent the entire turn, regardless if you use it before or after your main action phase. But right now the rules as they stand, you can play as many orders as you want.
You hear that? I got screwed. Could have picked up more orders, but no, I had to rush them out. All right, okay. So here we go. Okay. I'm going to do this, and yeah, I need to go here. So here we go. Going here. And
you got 2, so you can take one of these lower orders. There's an America and a France out there.
I can build the America.
Okay.
But he has an America, so I'm not really taking anything away from him.
That's true.
And I have 2 Americas already. So I'll pick up the France.
All right, France for you. France for you. I'll go ahead and move the rest down while we wait. And would you like to go ahead and do your recovery step?
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, so here's where I'm at. It's about time now, my turn, to go get these fish. Now I'm going to have to place 1 there and 1 there, and I get to place 1 somewhere else, and I know that I'm eventually going to want to build up turning in a big customs order, so I'm going to go ahead and place 1 on the customs board. So I'm going to go ahead and move my pawn over here to the fish, and boom, got the big fish order. So to do that, it's going to cost me, here I got 5 power, so I'll gain 5 fish. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 fish. That's great. Towards my game. I will also, he gets 1 yen for me taking the space. So that's yen for you. Well, it came from the bank, not from me.
I didn't say you were paying
I do get the 5 action, which is right here. So I get another import good. Yay. That gets me to a total of 3. And finally, I get to build there if I want, but I have no more buildings. I didn't have enough money to build buildings before. So no buildings. So my recovery steps takes these back. But I'm going to go ahead and play this order, which is going to take you 4 of the fish I just got, 1 of the silk, and that's going to do a couple things for me. Let me throw these out. It's going to get me, first of all, 3 points. That's nice and easy. So 3, 1, 2, 3, bringing me to 36. I'll get another import good, which brings me to 4 import goods, and I get to take something off my building, off my board. So I'm going to go ahead and take 1 of my houses, since I have some yen, and not my houses, my shops. So I now have another shop available if I ever want to build again. So that'll be the end of that. I've now completed all the orders I have in my hand. I'll need to draw more orders if I want to place them more.
Right. All right, so I am really looking to move here.
Yeah, please go there. That's where
I know.
I want to collect the yen. All right.
You need me to go there.
That's right. For sure. What do you do? What do you do?
You know what? I'm going to put 2 here.
Uh-huh.
Just move straight over there to do the 4 action.
Okay. So he's moving over to the employment agency so he can get, not only can he build a building there,
but because if he took the 4 action, but he gets to take 3 things out of his warehouse and into his play area. So,
all right.
But more importantly, I gain a yen because he took
yes,
my
he
action.
does.
All right, right.
All right, so I'm going to take another trade house out for 5, and that's actually it.
2 trade houses. Wow. Okay. Well, you get to take a bunch of free guys.
Well, I get to build.
True. Do them in order though.
So here's
you've taken
5.
You've taken one of your 3 things off. You can take 2 assistants off your board.
All right.
Those are free. It's nice. Okay, now you can take the construction action if you want.
All right. So might as well.
He's got a construction action that lets him take 2 more things off his board. Okay.
Might as well.
So he's going to take 2 more assistants off his board. He's now got another building there, and your cleanup step will give you all your guys back.
Give me my people.
Would you like to build any of your any more orders?
No, not yet.
No, not yet. Okay. Well, I've got a ton of copper, and there's not a lot of orders out there that deal with copper. Now, in the regular game, I'm gonna tell you this. There is a spot on the board called the marketplace. Now, by regular game, I mean 3-player or 4-player game. The marketplace lets you exchange goods, so it's pretty useful for getting rid of an excess of things that you can, turn into money or turn into other types of goods. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and hold on to all this copper that I don't need yet because there's just not a lot of orders that require it. But there is a German order and an American order that both use it. It's very tempting to work towards that. So I've got only 4. I've got 4 people left on my board. Let's go ahead and work towards the customs action. I will need another port action. And as far as goods, fish are never a bad thing. So we'll go ahead and put that on fish. And let's go back over to the port action again. And I'll go ahead and for that take this 1 Great Britain one, which is close to what I need. Go ahead and take that. And I'll go ahead and complete it after I take my guy back. I'll go ahead and complete it. It's pretty easy. I got the 1 fish. I got the 2 copper. Nice and easy to complete. It's only 1 yen, but it's 4 points. And it goes towards my set. So 4 points puts me directly at 40 points. And I now have 4 of the 5 countries I need for 1 complete set of countries.
Right.
All right, and that is the end of my round.
So I'm going to start needing money soon. So I'm going to come here.
Yep, go to the bank.
All right, I'm going to go, let's see, do I need tea? Everybody needs tea.
Okay.
Go here, and you know what? Might as well come here. And so I'm going to move over to yen. And if you look here, right on the board, you'll see not only do I have an assistant, my president, but I also have a building there.
A shop, yep.
So that counts as 3. So
3
I'll get
power.
3 yen.
And I didn't clarify this before, but just in case it matters, he doesn't get any credit for my assistants. It's just his own people that are there in his own shops. Okay.
Exactly.
So yeah, you get 3 in for that space. I'll just give you a big 3. That's fine.
All right, and there's cleanup and Bren.
All right, back to my turn.
And as you can see, these turns flow really quickly.
Oh man, it can be so fast.
I have yet to find this game where a game of Yokohama where you are AP prone. Even some of those that we've played with that are very AP prone, they tend to flow very well in this game, and it flies.
Trust me, there's definitely some thinking you can do that we're trying to do just because we want to keep this a user-friendly podcast. We want you to be able to live stream that you can watch and follow along what we're doing without watching us go, what will I do next? Or at least minimize that as much as possible. But yeah, you can definitely plan out your turns pretty well. But I agree that everything moves fast enough that it's pretty simple to play. So I've got 5 power here on the customs board. Remember, the customs board's where a lot of points exist. So because I have 5 power, I can spend up to 4 customs goods to be able to take an action on the customs board. So if we can show the customs board real quick, Marco.
All right.
So I need to be able to show this. So I'm going to be able to spend all 4 of these right here to be able to take this space. So 4 are going away. I lose them. They're out of the game. I take an assistant from my board and put him there. Now here's an important thing to note. If I didn't have an assistant available, I could not actually take that space. Because remember, you don't recover your assistants until the very end of the round. So, until the end of the main action phase. But I did have 1 guy left, so I had a couple guys left, but I had 1 there, so he takes there. So I get 22 points immediately, and have claimed this space. It can't be claimed by anybody else. So I was at 40, so now I'm going to be at 62. I have that space, and so now here's more stuff. I get this little 5 token, which is 2 silk. So I'll go ahead and take this, gain 2 extra silk. And now if I want to build a building, which I do, I can build a building right now. And so to build this building, I'm going to go ahead and I've got a little bit of money, so I'm going to go ahead and put it here. To take 2 buildings out of my warehouse, I'll take another shop out of my warehouse. It'll cost me 2 yen. And because I've got one more I can take, I'll take a free assistant, which is pretty easy. So, end of the round, I get these 4 back. They go back into my supply.
And as you can see, he is already trouncing me with my 21 points versus his 62.
Oh, it's okay, Marco. Okay.
Poor showing. Poor showing. That's what this is.
Oh boy.
All right, so I'm gonna put my 3 out.
Okay.
Let's see. 1, 2, and 3.
Oh boy. So while he's making the decision, what I'm looking at is what I've collected over the course of the game. I've collected 4 of the 5 tokens I need for the second goal, and I've got 4 of the 5 buildings I need for the third goal. So what I'm going to try to do is accomplish both goals in the same turn by building a building in a 5 space on a production building, which is what I'll be working towards next.
All right, so I get 4T.
4T, okay.
4T.
Oh, because you got a building there. Works out. Okay.
And I'm going here, picking this up. Can I complete this yet? Nope, not yet.
Not yet? Okay. All right, so back to me. All right, so in order to build up this space, I'm going to go and throw 2 on the silk mill. I'm not going to go there yet. I'm working towards getting this last import, which also gets me my last building, which is great. And I'll go ahead and take this somewhere where I can do something easy. I can go get a fish. I can go get some money. You know, money's never bad. So I'll just go ahead and I have 2 guys there. I'll take 2 yen, and I will end my turn now.
All right, so I'm gonna put 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna move it straight into the copper.
He's got the copper.
So that's 5 in copper.
So you'll gain 3 copper because he's got 5 power in copper. It's the hardest thing to get.
And I'm gonna put a trading post down, so I'll get 9 points.
9 points for the trading post. So he was at 21. He's now at 30.
Shut up.
Hey, that's half.
You shut your mouth.
That's half my score. Pretty good.
I feel like he's rubbing it in every time.
I've lost
every time.
I've lost the last 2 to you.
That's true.
All right.
Why can't it be 3? All right, Bryn, your turn.
All right. Do you got no orders you want to play? Nothing?
Oh, actually, I do have an order.
There we go.
Forgot. See, we have an order. Houston, we have an order of
all right.
3 tea and 1 copper.
Great. All right. 3 tea and 1 copper. Okay.
And that will give me...
How many points does it give you?
3 points.
3 points.
Another import and 1 money.
Another import and 1 yen. You know, I have good news for you, Marco. I'm no longer doubling your score. All right, I'm just kidding. Here we go. All right, I'm a sore winner here. Okay. I'm not even winning yet. Trust me. There's a friend of mine named Tom who I play this game with all the time, and it doesn't matter how far ahead I look like I am at the beginning of the game, he always comes back to beat me before the end. And he just does such a good job planning on his actions. So,
all right. You might want to move the orders down.
Oh yeah, when we took an order, we need to move these down so we can see what's coming up.
Oh, and I also get a French guy. Oui.
Oh, you
I
got a French foreign agent?
Guy.
French foreign agent. Okay,
That's
well
right.
there's only 2 of those in the game, so you've got 1 of them. All right, great. So he's got 2 foreign agents right now. He can end up spending on extra actions.
Not gonna do it just yet.
All right, so for me, I need to start. The problem is as much as I'd love to put 2 people here on the silk mill, I can't get there because I don't have any assistants to bring me there. So we'll put 1 on the silk mill. We'll at least put 1 more on the order board. I'm probably going to use that again at some point. And I can put it 1 more place. And you know what? Fish is just never bad, you know, really. So we'll put it there for fish. Let's see here. Do I want to move over for the easy fish? Which is just be 3. You know what? Let's do it. Because fish are pretty useful for most orders. So there's 3 power, which gets me 3 fish exactly. So 1, 2, 3. And that is the end of my action. It is back to you.
All right. So we're over here. Going to be at 3.
1 in the laboratory, bank, and the port.
All right. So gonna. Ooh, I don't.
Back to the lab, like Dr. Dre.
I kinda. Let's see. That's 4. What can I build for 4?
4. Well, you can get a winery for 4. It says, and you want to show this board, and we'll show it out. So he's got access to 4 power right now. Now he can still build a postal system. He can still build a ball, which means whenever he fulfills an order, he gains 2 points. It's also a Britain, which he doesn't have. But there's a France he doesn't have, and here's what it does. It's a winery. It costs 3 plus 1 industry for 4, which is what he has. It says, when you carry out a church action, you also gain 3 more points. Now, none of us have done that yet, but that can make the church action very lucrative and can really give you a path to victory.
Right.
So what would you like to do if you went there? Well, you're still choosing, so.
So, you know what? I am going to go there.
Okay.
For 4.
For 4, and what would you like?
I'm going to pick up the Britain.
The Britain one? Okay, so that's the ball. Okay, you go have a ball.
I am gonna have a
So
ball.
every time he completes an order, he gets 2 additional points, which is great. if
And
you're gonna
one
fulfill
money.
A lot of orders. Oh yeah, he gets the other thing. He gives him money too, so that's fantastic. So a new tech comes out, and it's a gaslight.
So
All
everybody
right.
likes getting extra things when you fulfill orders, don't you? I do.
It is fun. I agree. It's fun. So I'm looking at text. There's like a 10-point tech out there with Germany, which is the last of my set I need. And there's also a German order. But you know what? First things first. Let's go ahead and finish 2 goals right now. So we're going to drop 1 on the bank to create my nice little pattern over here. 1 on the silk mill, and because I'm eventually going to need to get to customs. Actually, I'll need to build up my customs so I can fulfill more of those, use more of those imports. I'll put 2 there. Actually, you know what? I already have a building there. Let's put it over here on the port, okay? So I can eventually get more orders. So let's move over here to the silk mill. I have 5 power there, so that gives me 4 silk. 1, 2, 3, 4 silk. Yay! I'm just tons of silk right now. I get to take the 5 action, which gives me this here, which gives me another import. It also gives me my fifth goal card, but I can't complete goals until I'm done with the round. So now I get to build something, and I have a building just for this. 3 fish. I've got a ton of fish. Do I need more fish, or do I want the points? You know what? The points sound good right now, so I'll go ahead and take 3 more points. So I'll move that 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that cleanup step, I take back these 4. Now I've completed both goals at the same time. I'm going to place 1 goal, or if we want to show the goal board real quick.
No, I don't.
Please do, please do, please do.
No.
So you'll notice that I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 of the little tokens here. So I can go ahead and use one of my assistants there for 9 points. So I'll move up to 74. And then if we look back at the tab, we don't have to look at the main board, but to show you, you need 3 industrial buildings and 2 economy buildings, which is exactly what I've got on the board at this point, which allows me to place an assistant there for 10 more points. And that's a nice big turn, so it's your turn.
All right, another big turn.
All right.
Yay. All right, so I'm going to put 2 down over here.
Back on the employment agency. Please go there. I love money.
Yes, I know you do.
Okay.
And I'm going to go here for 3, so I get 3 in.
Okay, 3 in on the bank. Okay, you want the big 3 again? You're getting a lot of money.
Yep.
Okay, great.
I wonder why.
Okay, you take your guy back?
No.
Do you want to use one of your awesome little agents? That's extra action, basically.
No.
Hold on to it for now?
Yeah.
We know we're
Well,
at...
actually, no.
Go ahead.
I just realized I am at 3 over here.
You're at 3 in the employee agency.
And I'm going to use Senor France.
So he's going to use his France foreign agent. He's going to flip it over to show that it's been used because they're 1 use only. Okay, they still count towards the goal that he has over here that I just took a moment ago with the 5 tokens or the foreign agents. But he gets to flip it over and take any action on the board where he has power.
Yep.
And right now he's got 3 power in the employment agency, which means he immediately gets to take 2 things off his board.
Yep. Here is 6 money.
Off his warehouse. So 6 money, he got another trading post.
And 2
Great.
more.
Okay, now even though he has another foreign agent, he can't use it right now because he's only able to use 1 per turn.
That's right.
All right, so because he took the action there too, he does have to follow through the rest of the steps, which means the guys do come off the board. So he takes back his 2
Yep.
people, and that's the end of your turn. And you know what else it is? It's time for a small break.
Yes,
We'll
it
finish
is.
up the game when we come back.
All right. Get a nice little drink. Here you guys go. This is going to be some Kickstarters during our break. We want to thank all the Kickstarter companies that provided us the videos.
The game publishers that
Right.
provided us the videos. Yeah, we're very thankful that they showed us.
Thank you
this.
so much. And
Yeah.
here you go.
Seriously, none of them?
Yes, none of
You're
them.
getting tricksy, Marco.
I am. As we're enjoying our little coffee.
That's right.
Sorry, chai latte.
Chai
It's
latte.
delicious.
That's right.
This isn't product placement or anything.
All right,
Starbucks,
but, you
the
know,
place to go for coffee.
but seriously though, where None of them?
None of them.
You couldn't find a single game
I searched through a lot.
made by an actual Japanese person. There's a Japanese game.
Besides Yokohama, no. I mean, you have Eric Lane that did Rising Sun.
Yeah.
You know,
I knew that one at least.
Taekwondo. I don't.
Taekwondo?
Yeah, Taekwondo. You had.
Yeah, Nippon was on there,
Nippon
and so was
was-
the old Shogun game. I
Yeah,
thought for sure. Nope.
You know, and then there was a list of others too that I just didn't even put on the list. I was just like,
Wow.
these are the games people know.
You
Maybe
know-
they'll know.
You know, I guess we Westerners really like our Japanese themes, but you know,
That's
whatever.
right.
It's crazy the way it works.
All right, so we're here to finish up the second half of Yokohama.
Second half. You know, we might have actually been flying through this. We've got 5 orders left that can come out. If the 6th order gets drawn, you know, the game gets triggered.
Right.
If Marco finishes building all of his trade houses, the end game gets triggered. If I build my other 4 houses, the end game gets triggered. And I think, and if I can get a lot more, I don't even know get enough customs orders to trigger the end game, but I could be working on faith. I do have a lot of resources. So, you know what? I think faith is the way to go, because I haven't done much faith yet. So to start with faith, I need that really cool faith card down there, which, you know what, is 3 points per. It's France. I really want Germany. Gosh. So let's go ahead and do first things first. I'm going to throw 2 down here on the church, knowing that that's where I'm going to be going eventually. And I'm going to go ahead and move over here to the port. I've got 2 guys there. I will take this German order because I really needed one from Germany. And I'll get my guy back. And I don't actually have enough to finish it, so I will hold on to it. And it's your turn.
You are a son of a...
We know that another Germany order is coming out pretty soon. So
Alright, so here I am. He ruined what I was going to do next.
ruined it.
Ruined. Everything is ruined. Let's see. Is there anything... You know what? I'm going to go here.
Okay, going on the tech board, laboratory. Going back to the lab.
Yep, here's 3.
All right.
So I'm at 6.
Oh my gosh, he's actually using imports to fulfill the laboratory requirement. You know, you could use those on the import board for 15 points.
No.
All right, cool.
All right,
So what's your lab at now?
My lab, hold on,
You've got 3 power plus 3 imports.
Is
So
6.
That's 6 right now.
and I'm going to pick up that 10 point.
The exposition, which one would you like? They're the same.
Which one?
They're the same. It doesn't
Wait, no,
matter.
what country is that?
They're Germany.
I'm going to pick up the Germans.
All right, well, that's what it is. So 10 points for him. And that's going to bring me to 43. Okay. And you want to do anything else? No?
Nope, I'm going to pick up my peeps.
These import goods are gone. So then goodbye import goods. All right. So back to me.
Yep.
All right. Well, you know, the church is pretty cool. I actually have, now the church requires a diversity of resources, and I actually have the diversity, at least to do it once. So you know what I'm going to do? 2 guys here on the church. Let's go to the church. That puts me at 5 power on the church.
Okay.
That's what I need. Now I need to be able to build the faith up, because that gives me 5. That translates to 5 faith. I want to get to 11 faith, though, to be able to do, you know, the biggest possible thing I can do. So, let's do that then. So I'm going to go ahead and pay 1 of each resource type. Each different resource type I put down raises my faith by 1, and 2 yen is the equivalent. So there's the 6. So that gets me to 11 faith. Now 11 faith is going to let me put one of my guys right here on the 11th faith spot.
Let me raise the camera a little bit.
Which gets me 14 points.
There we go.
So 14 points is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm at 98. Now, fortunately, if I go over 100, the game is prepared for that. Your star flips over to show 100 points. So I'm at 98 right now. And that's going to allow me to take... There we go. I claim the faith action. Now, when I claim this action, it says I can put 3 people down on the spots on the board. Well, I've only got 1 in my supply.
That's right.
Because I can't take the ones off the board that are there until the end of the round. But 1 more that I can put anywhere I want. And, you know, the bank is probably, you know, actually, I remember I really needed some tea. Let's just put there 1 for the tea, okay?
All right.
So now I get to take the 5 action, the 5 power action, which is another import good, which I'll take this and grab an import. And I can now build if I want to. However, I have no buildings. So that is the end of my romp at the church.
All right.
I get my guys back.
I'm going to go here. Boom. Get this, get the pick.
Okay, so he's got 5 power at the port. We've never seen this before. The first thing is when you get 5 power at the port, you, as part of the area action, not only do you get to pick one of the, any particular order you want, because it's red or lower, but he also gets 3 points instantaneously just for having 5 power at the port.
Doesn't
so let's
help
move you up
that
3.
much.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Closing the gap.
Hey, you know what? You're a half again.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, and let's see what's there.
All right. You can have any of these you want. So which one do you need for your
what's that one that's Netherlands?
The Netherlands is this one right
That's
here.
the one I need.
Yep, it's nice and simple, easy to do.
All right.
Take this one. Would you like another one by spending an import good?
Nope.
No,
I am
okay.
going to build though.
Oh, he's building the trading house. So 7 more points there.
Yep.
So 7 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're 53.
And I'm going to complete this order.
Oh wait. First of all, let's complete the rest of the steps.
Oh,
so go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Now
whatever.
you gained a 5 power. What was the 5 power you gained?
The 5 power was. Oh, I thought you already did this. 3 more.
3 more T.
Yep.
Okay.
3 more T.
Yeah, no, I didn't take that one. I take the rest of them. So there you go.
All right. So, and then I'm completing the order. Here we
Okay.
go.
The order was nice and easy for him to complete. It was
Yep,
just a
which
few
is
resources.
5 points.
5 more points for you. Don't you get some bonus stuff for completing orders?
Yes, I'll get 1 money and 2 more points.
So you actually get 7 points, which brings you to 60, and 1 coin, right?
There we
One
go.
yen.
Closing that gap.
Okay, great. That is true. All right, you got this. Now, do you have all the things you need to be able to complete this? No, you don't. You need 5 agents and or 5 power spaces. So you're just 1 away.
Right.
Okay, from completing that goal. Okay, great. So back to me. I've got 4 guys. Let me actually turn over this order because we need to see what the orders that are coming out. All right, import goods are always good. I need T for that. So let's go ahead and place at least 1 on the import good because I'll need that. And let's put 1 on T. That's going to get me pretty high on that. And then money never hurts. So I'm going to move upon my president. Ooh, did I place that there?
You
when
did.
were there? Okay. By doing that, I would actually have to pay him yen because I'm trying to save money. I'm not doing that. I'm actually going to place it over here on the employment agency. All right, so we're going to go through here and go all the way to the T. That's going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4 power, which is worth 4 T. So I'll take 1, 2, 3, 4.
Who's with me that says he can't pick up after he put down?
It's tough live streaming and trying to do everything
Because
right away. All right,
he didn't
cool.
have the money to pay me.
I didn't have the money to pay him, but okay. Well, let's go ahead and complete this order though, because I do have the resources for it. Those are from the church; they're done. This order here requires 2 T, one of that, and 1 copper and 2 silk. That's enough. That'll give me 2 yen. Yay for money. 6 points. So I'm at 98. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm at 104. And that's going to complete a full set. So at the end of the game, I'll get an extra 12 points for completing a set.
Yeah, we both will, honey.
I'll go ahead and place that back. Okay. And that's my turn. So.
All right, and so now back here. I need to put down some things. I really need to put down some things.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so. No.
I'm gonna move the text down since we did finish them last time. We did get one. Okay.
Here, and here.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna go here. I'm at 4, so I'll get 4 fish.
4 fish. All right, that's pretty easy. 1,
And that allows me to build.
3, 4 fish. Yep.
All right, and I am going to build here.
Oh, you
for
built
4 points.
So what's great is he's got 4 points for you, first of all, so you're at 64. Now, something to mention here, he's got 2 buildings here. You're allowed to do that. 1 shop, 1 trading post. You would never collect a yen from your own trading post, which I don't think I covered that, but that's true. You only recover it from others. Your foreign agent can't trigger it either. However, something to note is that just because he has 2 buildings here, it doesn't count as 2 tiles for the purpose of meeting the goal of having 3 industries. There's a goal for 3 industries, so...
It's okay.
Hey, just making sure you're aware of it. So, all right, and most importantly, that our viewers are aware of it. So.
Yep, and so that's my turn.
All right, so back to me. Money's really good. So is taking things off the board. I really want more import goods, and there happens to be an order out there to collect an import good from France. It takes more tea than I have, but I do have the remaining resources to get it. So let's go ahead and go place 1 on the money. 1 on the port, and then I'm gonna eventually, if I end up with 2 import goods, I'll need I will need more tea, so I'll put the guy back on the tea. And you're allowed to put one where you already have a president. It doesn't cost you yourself money. I'll move down here to go ahead and pick up an order. Oh, actually, I need gold to be able to get that. So I need more power than just the one guy.
All right.
So since I can't do that, I'm going to have to move somewhere else.
Right.
I'll move back. I can't also take the space I'm already on. So I'll go ahead and move instead. 4 yen sounds really good. So 3 plus 1 is 4 yen. So I'll take this back. I'll take 4 yen, and that will be my turn.
All right. So I am going to put down. Let's see. 1 here. 1 here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm not putting it on you. And 1 here.
Okay. More text.
So this will give me 3.
That gives you 3 power there. You want the order I was going to take? Gives you an import good if you complete it.
No. I mean, the thing is that I don't have any silk. And that's...
It does take silk,
That's
correct.
the issue I'm having.
Yep. Kind of tough to decide. Now, Marco's ahead. And so as far as endgame scoring goes, well, he makes the decision. I'm going to let you know that the person with the most industry actually gains an additional, I believe it's 10 points. Now, if I don't get at least 1 industry card before the end of the game, which is, by the way, second place is worth 5 points, those points aren't scored at all. It's not like Marco gets all 15, but he'll score 10 unaccounted for points. Similarly, though, I'm ahead in the export board, or I should say the customs board, which will score me an extra 8 points. If he doesn't get on there at all, that's 4 points he would lose for coming in second. And similarly, on the faith board, I'm ahead on the faith board for 6 extra points, which again, if he doesn't score at least 1 on the faith, he won't get 3 points for the faith. So not as big of a deal, but I definitely want to get at least 1 tech out to make sure that I capitalize on that 5-point bonus. So with that
thing is
extrapolation, what would you like to do?
I'm going to take America.
Yeah.
America!
Take America? This is America?
No,
Okay.
import.
All right. The import, right? Which one?
Number 2.
Number 2. Oh, right here. Yeah, the actual order. Okay,
Yep.
great. Easy
All
enough
right,
for you.
and I am going to pick this up.
Okay.
And I'm going to complete this order. 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
So I get 1 point, and I get to pick up a building.
All right. So that's pretty
And
good.
so
he gets to get a
but
building
I'll
out of his
also
warehouse.
get 2 more points.
2 more points. Okay, so how many points did you get total from that? 5?
3.
1, 2, 3. And
That's
then you
it.
get 2 for your...
No, it was 1 plus
Oh, okay, that was all it was.
2. And I get
you
1 money.
You do get a yen, because of his texts are really paying off right now for the orders he's
All
doing.
right, and I am going to take those yen, and you know what? I've been spending yen like crazy,
You have been.
and I'm gonna spend some more.
Okay.
Woo!
Yeah, 2 yen. He's going to get another house.
Another house.
All right, great.
All right, and that's my turn.
Okay, that actually looks similar to what I'm going to do, because I'm going to drop 2 here to give me the 5 power action on the employment agency. Run to the employment agency. That gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have the trading post there, so it's 5 power, which lets me get 4 things off my board. First of all, I really need another house, which is going to... Actually, you know what? Maybe I don't need a house. Houses are worth some points. There aren't a lot of trading posts out there yet. I'm going to go ahead and pay 5 for a trading post, which I have. So there's a trading post building I need. And I get 3 other things, so I'll go ahead and grab 3 more assistants off my board. That brings everybody back, and that is the end of my turn. Your turn, Marco.
All right, I'm gonna go here.
Okay.
And that is
He's gone
5.
to the bank, so he can get lots
So
of
I'll
money.
get 5 money,
5 money for you,
and then 3 fish.
3 fish, and 3 fish because he got the 5 power bonus. So would you like to build a building there?
No, I already have a building built.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, didn't know if you want to build a trading post too.
I don't have a trading post to put out.
Great. Well, you know what you just did? You just completed this goal.
It's about time.
So he's going to use his assistant to complete the goal that lets him have at least 5 combination of 5 power actions, 5 power tokens, or foreign agents, which he
That's
now
right.
has. So he'll score 7 points for that. So he's at 67, so he's going to be at 74 now. Great. Okay.
All right.
Any more
Your turn.
secondary actions? Great. Okay. Now I know I'm going to need T to complete the order I really want, but you know I should probably get the order I really want first. So I've got some guys here. I'm going to need port. Just looking to see what else I want to do. am going to need to go ahead and build up the laboratory. So let's go ahead and put 2 in the laboratory because I'll eventually need to go there. So first we'll go here over to the port. I've got 2 guys there now. Because I went to the port, Marco gets another yen. Every time I go to the port, he gets a yen now. Okay, I got 2 guys there, which lets me take a blue. Fortunately, this order moved down, so I can just take it right here. So I've now got the order that I really want that has the import good on it. It's going to go in my hand. And my guy comes back. I can't complete any secondary actions, so additional actions, so these move down.
All right,
And
so
there's 1 order left in the stack. So
now I'm going here,
He's going to the tech space. Ooh,
And
he's got
what's up
4 power right
and
now.
what
in
is
tech
left
space.
out there? You have the winery and
The winery for the church space. The movement step lets you. It's Great Britain lets you take an action on my space.
let's take Great Britain.
Okay, Great Britain takes. You got 3 power. Okay, now how many techs is that for you?
That is now a second Great Britain.
No, how many techs is that?
Oh, that's 3 techs.
3 techs. Now I want to show you something on this board here. On the board it says if you have 4 or more techs, or when you're getting your 4th or more tech, it costs an additional 2 coins plus the industry that it costs to do it, or 1 trade good. So just be aware that if you ever build another tech, it's going to cost you 2
Alright.
yen to be able to do it.
So I'm not going to worry about that because what I am going to do is build a building.
Okay, right, building.
For 2
Now,
goods.
I want to show you. He built a building on a space we haven't looked at. Notice it has all 4 colors on it in an X, and also 2, which means he gets 2 goods of any type he wants, and they can be of any combination. So
And
which
I'm
goods
getting
would
2
you like?
silk.
2 silk for you. Great. 2 silk for you. Okay, back to me. All right, I need this. The silk right here for myself. So let's go ahead and place at least 1 here, 1 on the bank, and I might still get another port order before
By the way,
end
I
of the
need a
game.
Great Britain guy.
Oh, did you get 2 Great Britons?
Yep.
Okay. Well, there you go. There's actually 3 Great Britain foreign agents. So that's kind of neat. There's extras of those. All right, so I'm going to move over here to our tea plantation. And that's going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4 more tea. So 1, 2, 3, 4 tea. And I'm going to go ahead and complete, after I pull this off, I'm going to pull these guys back. I'm going to complete this France order, which is 3 tea, 2 silk, and my last copper. Looks like I would use it all. That's worth 9 points. So I'm going to go up from 104 to 113. And I get an import good, which is my second import good. Yay. And these goods I'll leave the game. And I now have a second France, which gives me a French foreign agent, which I now have. So I am done with my round. Your turn.
All right. So now back to my turn.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to put out 3. Go here. I'm going to pick up the Germany.
The German port.
Yep.
Okay, great. That's
All
for
right.
you.
And 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pick that up.
Okay.
And I'm going to complete this.
Okay, the last port order came out. Okay.
And so that gives me 7 points.
Okay.
That's with my bonus.
7. You're going to get 7 points from completing that order.
Yep.
Okay. So you are at 74 plus 7 is going to put you at 81. Okay.
81.
You get a yen too,
I
right?
also get a yen.
Okay, here's a yen.
Yay, yen.
Got a lot of yen.
Give me a Germany guy.
Okay, Germany guy. Where's the Germany guy? Sorry.
Spy. German spy.
German spy. Oh, a German spy. Okay. Not spy. Foreign agent. Foreign agent, not spy.
Well, he's a spy.
No. Okay, here we go.
Das. No, that's French. I mean, Russian. And I'm going to use that German spy
Uh-huh.
to do this action over here.
Foreign agent, okay. Taking that. Now, I want to mention something. When he takes a foreign agent action on a space where I have a trading port, I still do get the 1 yen.
Right.
So I'll go ahead and take the yen for that.
And my thing is still 4.
It's still 4, so you can get 3 things.
Right. And I'm buying my last trading house.
Buying his last trading house, that cost him
Wait, 3,
7.
4, 5, 6, 7. Exactly
All right,
7.
that's exactly enough money to buy it, and you still actually get 2 more.
Yep, 2 more peeps.
2 more people off your board. All right, we're really getting close to the end here because if I take 1 more port order, that will trigger the end of the game. Either one of us do. That'll trigger the last round. So I really want to get that tech. Actually, let's move the techs down since you took them. And I really think this Germany tech is pretty cool because it gives you straight up 10 points and it costs 5 power. Well, that's pretty easy. I'll go ahead and throw 2 people on it. That's my action I can do. Go here. I now have power of 5, which is exactly what I need to be able to build the exposition. So I'll take this tech. It's Germany, which is fine, but it's going to get me 10 points instantaneously. Great. The next thing it does, because it's 5 power, I get to take the 5 power action, which is 3 yen. So I'll have 3 more yen. And then finally I get to build a building, which I actually have ready, a trading house there to get 6 more points. So I'll go from 23 to 29 points, and all these guys come back to me, and that is the end of that action.
All right.
So I'm on the board now for techs.
I'm
I
going to
won't
go
be
here.
totally shut out.
This is 5. Give me 5 money.
5 money. Okay.
And I built my last trading post.
Oh, you built your final trading post, huh?
Yep.
And that gives you 5 points?
Yep.
5 points, so you're at 81, so now you're at 86. So he just triggered the end of the game.
I did.
So there's 1 full final round, which is right now for me. Now, this foreign agent I have right here is going to matter for me, I think, because I'll be able to take an extra action this round. Unless he's worth a point if I don't use him at all, but I think I can make more than a point from him. So looking at the goods I have, I've got a little bit of, since this is the final action of the game, I've got no copper. I've got a little bit of, I've got some tea. Let's see if there's any order that I can do that's easy. There really isn't. I'm going to go ahead and turn in these 2 import goods because that's really where it comes down to it for me. So in order to be able to turn in 2 import goods, I'm going to need to have at least 3 power there. I've already got 2. That's pretty easy. Let's see here. I wonder if there's a way I can get this last import good from here, which is on the red space. It doesn't look like it. So that being the case, I don't think there's a way I can make any more points by using my foreign agent. So it looks like the best thing I can do is I need to put at least, well, let's see here. If I put 2 people here on the port, that'll get me a total power of 4, which does get me what I need. However, I'll be 1 shy there on the customs board. Okay, so I was trying to maximize points. Doesn't look like I can get any more than what I've got. So let me go ahead and take my final action to go to, I'll just put 2 on the customs board, that's fine. Actually, no, not 2 on this board. I don't even want to pay you 1 yen. Okay, so 1 on the customs board, 1 on the tea plantation, and what the heck, how about 1 on the space that I've been using. I'm going to go ahead and move, you know what, actually no, I still don't have enough. All right, so I'm going to go over here to the customs board. I have 4 power there, which lets me use up to 3 import goods. I've got 2 import goods, so I'll go ahead and use those 2. That lets me put another guy on the import track for 2, which is right here. That'll give me 10 points for doing that, if we can look at this board.
Yep.
So I can show it one more time. So I turn in 2 import goods with my power, so I can put that guy there out of my available assistants. I can now take 1 thing off my board, which I'm just going to take a guy, it doesn't really matter. Take an assistant. I scored the 10 points, I got the 1 guy off my board. The question is, do I want to use my foreign agent for my last thing I want to do after these come off? And the best he can do for me is basically nothing that I can use. So that looks like that's the end for me. If I had 1 more fish. Okay,
1 more fish would have done it.
All right, so there we go.
So I'm looking here, since this is my last turn.
Last turn of the game.
You know, what can I do to maximize on things? I do want to put something here to pick up an order.
Okay.
You know, because why not? Let's complete orders.
That's right.
That's what this game is about, is completing orders.
And he's got a lot of fish.
All
Question,
right.
he doesn't have a, oh, you do have copper. So he's actually got options here.
Right.
You could complete this nice American order very easily.
But I don't want another American.
Oh, yeah.
I've got too many Americans.
So here's the deal. Each new set that you get, for instance, each American flag he has in his final scoring techs and ports, starts a new set, basically, and only having 1 country of a set is worth 0 points. So it's not great to have a whole bunch of 1 unless you're going to be using the foreign agents. And he's got 2 extra foreign agents right now, of which he can only use 1 anyway this turn. So
right.
Not really that great of a move for him.
So I'm just looking and...
But it is 2 points. I don't know.
Yeah, 2 points and put down 2 people.
To put down 2 people that you could follow up then with a foreign agent action to take that action too.
Right.
So there's something to that. And then next, how many American flags do you have? You have 2, 3. So that would give you another American foreign agent because you'd have a total of 4 American flags, which would give him his second one, which means that's a point. So it's actually worth 3 points.
4.
Well, yeah, because your card actually makes it worth, but the foreign agent would be worth an extra point at the end of the game too. So let me explain kind of the end of the game scoring in general as far as resources go. So every 3 yen you have, every 2 yen you have is 1 point. Every foreign agent you haven't used is 1 point. Every trade good, every import good you have is worth 1 point. And every 3 resources of any type, you just combine them all into a pool. Every 3 resources is worth 1 point as well.
Bryn was just trying to mess with me.
Was I?
Not looking at what's at the high end, which is France.
You need France?
I can use another France.
Oh wow! I guess you could.
Actually, right.
France would complete your
here.
next.
No,
Oh no!
be right here.
What are you missing?
Netherlands again.
Netherlands. So this one here.
Yeah, which I don't have the silk for.
You don't have the silk for it. Do you have a building?
Not in silk.
Okay. Do you have a foreign agent you can use before your action to get silk?
I mean, how would it be possible? I can only pick this up if I have a
if you put both guys there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you wouldn't be able to do it very well. Okay.
Right. So I'm
That's
gonna
fine.
take France.
This one right here. So 3. Okay.
All right.
So he's gonna take the France one.
I'm gonna pick this up.
Okay.
Actually, what does it cost? I'm gonna spend 2
Okay. Yeah.
to also pick up the American.
Yeah. Remember how you can pick up 2 at once? So
Yep.
he can go ahead and pick up a second one. Okay, remember he can play as many as he wants on his final turn, so...
Wait a minute. Actually, no. Put this back. Give me the Netherlands guy. Give me that Netherlands guy.
All right.
I'm going to complete the...
Oh, this is going to be great. I see what you're doing.
The fishy.
So we're going to take his guys back first. Okay, he's going to go through this one step at a time. I'm going to move this out of the way so you can show it.
So let's put this board up.
This is going to be really cool. So the first thing he's going to do is complete this order.
All right, so here's 3. Here's 1.
Yep.
And that completes this order.
So first of all, points. You're going to get 4 points from that, right?
Yep.
Because
And
he gets the 2 extra.
And 1
1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 yen. You get another American. You get another American foreign agent. Okay.
Yes, I do.
Because he's got American. Now here's the important thing. Show that card. He gets to place 2 assistants from his available assistants anywhere he wants. He put them on silk. So now watch this.
So now that I put him on silk, I'm now going to use the American.
Okay. Flip the American over.
So he gets flipped like that.
So now he gets to take
the
silk
now
action.
I get to take the silk action, which gives me 1 silk.
Which gives him 1 silk. So here's 1 silk for that.
So thank you for that
And these
silk.
2 guys go away again. Okay. He's now uses 1 foreign agent action.
And now if we go back to this, I'm going to go wipe.
Yep. But you would keep that as a negative, yeah.
And put this down.
There's the 1 silk he needed.
And here's this. Here's the silk.
You got
Here
it.
is the
copper,
which gives me 5 more points.
5 more points, okay.
An import, and it connects my next set.
And a coin. And what's important is, like you said, he completed another set of countries. So he's now got 2 full sets of countries. That's
right.
Pretty fantastic.
All right.
What a great way to close out your final turn of the game.
That's right.
So now we're going to count score, and we're going to use the reference at the bottom here. I'll show it right here. We're going to use the reference at the bottom to go through each step. So let's award faith first. So it's 6 points to the person who has the most faith. Well, if we look at the board here, I'm going to actually show this a couple times because we're going to be doing this back and forth. So faith scores first. Now look at this. I clearly have the most faith, right? I'm on the firm position. If you'll hand me some of your people though. So what it counts is not how high you are up on the board, but how many people you have there. So if Marco even had these 2 done, he would actually win the faith bonus of 6 points. Okay. Now if there's a tie, it's always the person the furthest to the right on the board. But since I won it, I'll go ahead and get 6 points on my board. So I'm at 39. So that puts me at 145. And because he didn't even build on this one, he doesn't get any of the second place bonus.
Nope.
The next thing for the in-game scoring is the customs bonus board. I've got 2 on there. He's got 0, so I'll gain the 8 points for that. So that moves me from 45 to 53 to 153, and he has none, so he doesn't get the second place bonus. So next thing we do is we do text. Okay. Now he has how many industry worth of text do you have?
3.
No, how many industry? Count how many actual.
So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay, so this is why this is a little bit different than in the game. Over here, we were counting number of assistants we had, but when you count text, you actually count the amount of industry total bonus, total cost you have in your tableau instead of just counting cards. But he's got me crushed anyway, so he's going to gain 10 points from that. So he was at 95. He's going to be at 105 now, and I do have at least 1. I went in there and grabbed 1, so I will get 5 points for second place, which will move me to 158. Okay.
All right, I broke 100. Finally broke 100.
Woo! Now we're going to count sets of
as you can see right down here.
So I'm going to move mine into the screen so you can see them. So there's 1 set for me. That's 12 points for me. I've also got a second set of 2. The second set of 2 is only worth 2 points. So it's a total of 14 points in sets for me. So I'll go and get my 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. That puts me at 172. And I'll move these off. These are done.
All right, and I got 2 sets.
So that's 24 at least.
Oh, excuse me, that's it.
24, yeah. He actually has 2 extra Americans, but they're a set of 1, which is worth 0 points.
No, it's worth 1 point.
Yeah, so 24 points for you then, right? Mm-hmm. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 129 so far. Yep. That's a pretty dang good score already. Okay. Not as high as mine.
No, shut up.
All right. So the last thing we do is we convert all of our resources into points. And I'll start with me. I've got 6 coins, and every 2 coins turns into points. So that's 3 points for me. So 1, 2, 3. I don't have any. I do have 1 unused foreign agent, so that's 1 extra point. I don't have any import goods left, so that's no more points. And as far as resources that are left, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Every 3 converts into a point, so that's 2 more points for me for a final score of 178.
All right, so add 1, 2, 3, 4 more points, 5, 6.
So 6 more points for Marco. So you're at 29, so it's going to put you at
135.
135. So the final score, Marco 135, Bryn 178, and that is Yokohama.
Took back the lead.
Good game.
Took
Good
back
game.
the lead again.
3-2.
That's right.
Maybe you'll have better luck on next week's game.
I know. Well, hopefully I will, because we actually played it at our last event.
That's right. We were at DFW Nerd Night.
That's
we
right.
played this there, and I got beat.
We were playing Great Western Trail.
Yep.
And guess what? That's our next game.
That's Great Western Trail.
Join us next week for Great Western Trail. I hope you enjoyed Yokohama. This was been Bryn who taught us the game, and we had a wonderful playthrough. Thank you so much.
It was a lot of fun. Thanks so much. And if you have any ideas at all for discussion questions you want to hear us talk about, please let us know. If you have other ideas about what games you want to see, please let us know that. And if you want to meet me in person, I will be at Geekway to the West Thursday all the way through Sunday. Look for Bryn Smith.
All right. Have fun.